Welcome back to another episode of From My Perspective. We're coming to you a little bit early this week because we gotta talk about that WrestleMania show, night one and night two. We gotta give you our review. Before we get into it, Q, how you doing?
And what it do, what it is, it's your boy, Mr. Bag. I can't say your name on this pod. I might not put you them out. All right, bro, I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. I can't complain at all.
Yeah, I might as well go ahead and get this out, lay it on out there. I like to be honest with you guys. Night one, me and Q, we was doing our thing, neck and neck. It ended in a tie for night one. It ended 19-19. So I was feeling good for night two. And then Q proceeded to put belt to ass on me. He won night two by a score of 21-10 to win total WrestleMania 40-29. So Q is your prediction champion for the WrestleMania show. So congratulations, Q. I'm hating a little bit, I'm a little being a little sarcastic because I'm hating a little bit, but you didn't have to do me like that on night two. It was crazy.
You know what? To be honest with you, dog, it's really your fault
Yeah. How's
because
it?
you didn't believe in EO. That's what it boiled down to. You
Yeah.
didn't believe in EO. You let what I tell you, man. They ain't gonna let that record continue because they don't want it to become a thing. That's all it was. That's what it boiled down to. EO won because they didn't want that record for Bianca to become a thing.
Yeah.
So boom, here we are. So yeah,
Yeah, that was rough. We'll get to that one, but let's go ahead and start out with night one. Night one, but before we get to it, what was your thoughts on WrestleMania as a whole and night one and night two?
uh, night one, night one to me was my man. It was okay, but it wasn't bad. Let me start that first. It was not bad. It was good, but it wasn't great. The main event was great. We'll get to that. Night two to me, everything else for me personally, the early matches felt great. The mid card matches and all of that felt great. Yes, to the main event, it was lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
So that that's where I'm at.
Lackluster to say the least. I mean I agree. I gotta give a shout out to all. I mean there was a lot of multi-person matches on this card. They all delivered all the multi-person matches, and even let's give a shout out to the stand and deliver main event. Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. They maybe had the match of the weekend. I mean, EO, Rhea, Bianca, they had something to say about that, but they did their thing and stand and deliver. But I agree with you. I mean, one of my first thoughts is like when John Cena finally won, my thought was this thing I don't know, it just seems so lackluster, and I was like, this is definitely wasn't better than last year's. And then it hit me. This felt like last year's WrestleMania felt like it was the conclusion. It was you was closing the book on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This year it seems like so much was like this is the setup to something else. This was just the beginning of something else. It didn't seem like a conclusion. So that's why this one felt a little off for me, but because it just felt like everything was just the beginning of something and not the end. Nothing concluded, I felt like. I'm trying to think of one feud. The Jay Gunther, that was probably the one that was a concluder. Everything else was, yeah. So everything else, but yeah, it seems like the only feud that felt like it was the conclusion was the Jay Gunther feud. Every other feud felt like it was just the beginning or it was just in the middle phase of the feud. So that's why this WrestleMania seemed a little off from my perspective.
That makes sense.
So, but let's go ahead and get into it. First match of night one, they started out with the World Heavyweight title, Jay Uso versus Gunther. Pretty good match. They started out hot. Obviously, the crowd loves Jay Uso. Obviously, neither of us was surprised that Jay won. But my thoughts was you surprised that not only did he make Gunther tap out, but he almost made him tap out pretty quickly to his own move.
That's my issue. I don't know if I want to say that's my biggest issue of night one, but I think I want to. He kind of tapped real quick. Gunther has been displayed as like Jacob, as this dominant force that is unmovable, that's unstoppable. Only time he really lost was when he lost his Intercontinental Championship, so he could move into the heavyweight scene. For him to lose that quick, I feel like it's. I'm not mad at the match. I'm just mad that it should have been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's my. I think that's my biggest gripe from night one is that I'm cool with the submission. I'm cool with it being his own move. Even though if you make a person tap to their own move, you would think it would be a continuous series, and I don't think they're gonna continue this. But cool, but make him work for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not hold them 1, 2, 3. All right, Gunther's tap. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
Gunther ain't no quitter.
My only hindsight thing to this one is obviously not a lot of people know much about Gunther pre um when he got the NXT and he got to the main roster, but obviously he was in NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
He held the NXT UK title for a very long time. He did end up losing it to Ilya Dragunov, who is on the main roster. He's hurt at the moment, but he lost to Ilya in what some pretty much a similar fashion. He choked him out, got the tap pretty quickly. So it's happened before. Obviously, it hasn't happened in the main roster level, so people probably don't know about it. But hindsight, it has happened before, but still hold on a little bit longer for my liking before you tap out Gunter. That's how I saw it. But Jill so won pretty easy to predict, but hey, I for sure enjoyed it. Next match probably shouldn't have been on the card. This probably should have been on tonight's Monday Night Raw, especially considering what happened Friday as they announced a TLC ladder match. I want to say it's either triple threat or fatal four way tag team ladder match for the SmackDown tag titles, which is perfectly fine. They've been building up to it, perfectly fine. But again, y'all been building up to it. Y'all should have had that match on the Mania card
Yeah.
and moved War Raiders versus the New Day on the Friday after Raw after Mania, which would have been fine. The match was nothing to talk about. I mean, all these four men are good in the ring, but this could have been on a Raw. The New Day snuck out a victory. They got the titles and they took off running up the stage. Simple.
I think this match got on the card because the simple fact Triple H looked at it as like, well, that is the New Day. They
Yeah,
put in a lot of work. They got they got on the WrestleMania card because of their name, not because of what they've been doing. That's how New Day got on this WrestleMania card. They got on there because of who they are. This was a legacy pick. No disrespect. No disrespect to neither one of them brothers. You know, Kofi been doing this for a long time. No disrespect. But they got on this card for a legacy pick. Like you said, the match should have been on Monday Night Raw. Especially the way that it played out. Man, that match was like, what, a 2 out of 5?
yeah.
Yeah, that's being nice. It's really
And
probably closer to a 1.5.
it was crazy. These guys are. We've seen these guys put on 5-star tag team matches. You can tell they was told how they wanted it to end. It was like, all right, let's just throw something together. We don't need to do nothing too crazy.
It didn't feel special. This match did not feel special whatsoever.
It,
And I think that's part of that's kind of a lot of Saturday night. A lot of these matches didn't feel special. They felt like they was either thrown on the card or a feud was forced.
yeah,
Like the Jay and Gunther felt forced because we had already seen it.
yeah. They ended up building it pretty nicely towards the end of the feud, but
Yeah, I was going to say they wait to the last week or two to
last
start
two
building
weeks,
that feud.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I love the New Day, one of my favorite factions of all time. So y'all shouldn't have been on the card. I'm sorry, y'all should have put that T. It's a TLC ladder match for the tag. Man, you should almost never want to put them on free TV. But okay, here we go. Y'all did it. Y'all about to do it anyways for Friday. Should be
USA
good.
said USA said, man, y'all gotta give us something too, man.
It's
I mean,
true.
because the Monday like we talked about that Raw after the WrestleMania gets so many eyeballs because everybody knows it's a thing. It's special.
Yeah.
USA said we ain't getting that this year because y'all
Then
Netflix
I
that.
think about as probably the reason. As it's probably the reason they need more eyeballs on the Friday night after. Man, you're right. Now that I think about it, logistically, that's probably why they did it. It is what it is. Next match, Jade versus Naomi. Congratulations to both these ladies. I want to say because women usually don't get on the Mania card in a match unless it's a title involved. This was like one of the first, from my memory, a blood feud happening with two women. Both of them had amazing gear. Pretty good match. I love the finish, the way Jay tossed her, Naomi in the air, and power bombed it and hit her with the Jaded. Again, Naomi's a great talent. She did her thing. Jay, she's clearly gotten better in the ring. My question is to you though, and also I want your thoughts on the match is where do they go from here? Is like this the end of the feud? Because I was expecting Naomi to win and they to run it back again.
Think it's the end of feud because if you listen to Jade after WrestleMania in the interview session, she talked about how like basically, no, I'm not done with her. I want more with her because of what she did. So I think they definitely gonna get a match at Backlash. From my perspective, I think they definitely gonna get a match at Backlash because simple fact, Jay said she ain't done with her. Thoughts on the match was Naomi deserves her flowers because the match was good, but Naomi's such a great worker. It helped carry. Not saying that Jay did, was bad because there was another women's match that was kind of bad in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not to say that Jay did bad, but Naomi helped carry that match. And I think she deserves her flowers for that. And yo, Naomi sold this on Twitter. I'm gonna call your daddy named you Twitter. I'm gonna call you Twitter. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Naomi sold this. The stuff that they hey, the stuff that they was doing and all that. Hell, Jay too, when she's talking about Naomi. I just want to know where you get your ass shots from. You know what I mean? Like, they did a good job of selling that themselves because I don't think they gave them a lot to work with.
No.
From my
Like
perspective, I don't think
feud
they gave
build
them a
up
lot.
wise, they didn't do much. This was a lot of it was on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Bits and pieces of it was on TV.
Yeah, they 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 did the build for this match on their own on Twitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as far as the match was good. It wasn't. I ain't saying it was a. I'm not saying it was a 5-star match. I'm not
No.
saying that, but it definitely was better than the previous match, the War Raiders match.
Yeah. Shit, everything was better than that. Uh, next,
Worst, hold on, worst match on the card. New Day War Raiders.
uh,
We'll go through all
I
of them.
would say yeah, but that was another match. We'll get to it. I don't think it was bad. I was just immensely disappointed, and I thought it was gonna be a lot better. But we'll get
Okay.
to them. Uh, next match was LA Knight, Jacob Fatu. I thought LA Knight was gonna win. I thought he was gonna, retain it. I thought Solo was gonna cost Jacob. I don't know where I went wrong with that one. Like I had 6 on LA Knight. That was a vital mistake by me. But Jacob Fatu, he dominated. He is now the U.S. champion. They did try. I want to point out they did try to do this. Jacob does a moonsault into a BFT. It was a little clunky. He clearly didn't get it all the way, but considering it's live, you get one shot at it. You gotta give him credit. It looked decent enough that it worked, but you could tell they wanted it to look a little bit better. But outside of that, pretty good match. Both these guys are talented, nothing too crazy. But Jacob did win it with multiple moonsaults. Jacob's your now U.S. title. I'm surprised Solo came out to walk Jacob to the ring, but he just went to the stage and then turned around. I was expecting a little bit more, but hey, at least Solo got on the Mania card somehow.
I think that was also leading to what everybody thought. Everybody thought Solo was going to turn on Jacob. So Solo coming out, being his hype man, makes you think, hey, I'm here, something's about to go down. I'm gonna turn on him. Y'all know it's coming. And then for it not to happen, I think that was smart. I think that actually was smart by WWE to do it that way. Not have show Solo, but not have Solo come out. I think that was smart. As far as the actual match, I mean, I knew. I was going to say we, but I knew Jacob was going to
Yeah,
be
you did.
because they just been same like I talked about with Gunther. They've been showing that he was dominant, and he's over. LA Knight's over too, but Jacob's over, and they want to give him this moment. I do think LA Knight continues to get screwed. I think he should be introduced to the world title picture, but I don't see how that's gonna happen because ain't no heel with a well, it's a heel with a title, but we know where it's going. We'll
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
that later.
yeah. He's not.
He ain't on that level.
I don't think he's on that level. And I think at least for the next two shows, I know they got Backlash and they have Money in the Bank, and then they got a Saturday. He may get a Saturday night main event, but John Cena, I think they kind of already know where they want to go with John Cena. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
Backlash, it's been confirmed. Monday Night Raw is happening as we speak. He's got Randy Orton at Backlash, and at Money in the Bank, I'm willing to put not a full paycheck, but a half a paycheck that they're gonna give it to CM Punk and Money in the Bank. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
relive that. I put a half a paycheck on that. I ain't gonna put a full paycheck, but I put a half of one.
Yeah, yeah, so that's
So
why LA Knight, it ain't no world title shot, but he's over and they kind of not really pushing him as far as over as he is.
yeah,
So I don't know where you go. If you LA Knight, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get a rematch for the US title. But after that, I don't know where he goes.
yeah, I don't know exactly. I feel like Carmelo Hayes need to go ahead and get a look at that U.S. title for real. Shout out to him. He did win the Andre Memorial Battle Royal, which sometimes means something, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully, it means something this time around.
Real quick, speaking of Gunther, like you said, wrestling is acting going on right now. Gunther choked out Michael Cole.
And
Impact.
Pat McAfee, yeah, he
What
did.
in
He
the
did.
world?
Yeah,
Okay,
he
go
did
ahead.
it. He did it bad. It was. I mean, not that we're reviewing Raw, but I will say like the way they had it framed, they had him choking out Pat McAfee. And you know, Pat McAfee he got his little entourage, his group that's on his podcast.
Yeah.
They made those guys jump the barricade, and they was trying to get at Gunther, but security was holding them back, while other securities were trying to separate. It looked good. It looked devastating. So, Gunther looked like he back on a rampage. We will see where they go from there. I mean, might as well ask you though, because I've been hearing. I don't know how true it is, but there's a man out there who's looking for his retirement match, and he's had a little beef with Gunther in the past. You think that is in the cards? Because that's where I see it going. That's part of the reason why he doesn't have a title, because you don't want that to be a title match.
Damn, that's smart. You don't want Goldberg to be a title match because if Gunther's the champion, you got to make it a title match. That's a good point. Ooh, that's a good point. I think it. Do you think that happens at a Backlash or a Money in the Bank? Because wouldn't that feel more like a SummerSlam? Even though they are trying to make Money in the Bank bigger. So I guess I can see it.
It
But
may be SummerSlam. I wish I knew exactly. I think the next Saturday night main event is in Tampa. If a Saturday night main event was like in Atlanta or something, I'll say it would be at that or somewhere
yeah,
in
because it's
Atlanta.
on.
But I don't know. I don't know. All I know is Goldberg said he's claimed it. WWE is giving me my retirement match. Don't know when, don't know where. People are assuming it's going to be Gunther. That's kind of where it looks like it's going to be because that's the last interaction he's had. Was Gunther was talking shit to Goldberg and his son, but
But don't you want if you Goldberg, don't you want to win your last match? I don't see them having to lose to him.
you
I don't
probably want to, in the sense of what Goldberg is at. He probably should. But these guys, when they're learning how to wrestle, they're supposed to be like, you're always supposed to go out on your back. Like your last match, you're supposed to lose to give the rub to somebody else. But in Goldberg's situation, since he's not around a lot, ain't like he's a consistent active wrestler. How much can he give away? How much aura can he give to Gunther for beating him? Gunther Goldberg is like, he's not the Goldberg of all three per se. That's all I can say. So, but we'll see. Uh, Next match. So it was a Ray, but it wasn't Ray Mysterio. Get well soon. Ray Mysterio looks like he messed up his groin in a match on Friday. They replaced him with the new Ray Phoenix, who had just debuted not too long ago. They basically just replaced Ray Mysterio with Ray Phoenix, still El Gran Americano. This match was excellent. Chad Gable can go. That man can wrestle. I wish they just take that mask up off him, but he can go. He can absolutely go. Um, I was a little surprised that he won. 'Cause I, I was wondering, like, I wonder if they would have had this the same way if it was Rey Mysterio. Like, would Rey Mysterio had lost just like Rey Phoenix lost? I don't know, but El Gran Americano beat Ray Phoenix in an excellent match. I don't know what Chad Gable did or where he learned that. Moonsault into the senton, land on his back, but that was some excellent stuff right there.
You okay? The match was excellent, but I don't I don't feel that way about this match, and because I said it before, I feel like they're making a mockery of the luchador names, especially because they just bought AAA, the AAA wrestling organization down there in Mexico. I feel like doing this Americano thing. I feel like they're making a mockery of it, and it just
Yeah,
don't sit right.
it don't understand. I see. I feel what you mean. I feel you.
I don't think I know that's not what they're I know that's not what they're intending to do. That I know that's not what they're intending to do, but it feels like that's what they're doing. So I'm watching the match and I'm not watching it with like the way I watch all the other matches. If that makes sense. I'm watching all the other matches as a fan.
You already kind of out on the match before it started.
Yeah, I'm watching it with tinted lenses. So and normally I try not to do stuff like that because but I don't know, it don't feel right.
Yeah, I feel. I understand. I understand. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. He didn't get a mask. Kind of. I'm a little surprised he didn't. But hey, he won, so it's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to pretty much the co-main event: Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. One of the longest matches on the card. But
I'm proud of
them women
I'm
were
proud of
going at it. I like after the end of the match, Tiffany Stratton looked like she was not in a non-scripted fight. It looked like she was in an actual fight with somebody. They was going at it. Excellent match, but Tiffany Stratton ends up getting the victory over Charlotte Flair. What are your thoughts on that physical, very physical match?
I don't think the match is good.
Oh, you like it?
Nah, bro. I'm just gonna I I thought it started off okay, but like you said, the longer it got, I felt like the chemistry. You could tell the chemistry wasn't there, and you could tell that they got like real life heat.
Yeah.
They got real life heat in some of them shots, and that's what caused some of it to be. It got sloppy at the end. I don't think it started out sloppy. A lot of people said it was sloppy the whole time. I don't think it started out sloppy. I think it got sloppy towards the middle and towards the end to make it look like a bad match, to make it look like both of them can't perform. And both of them are great performers, but I feel like their personal heat got in the way. And it feel like Charlotte gave Tiffany some real shots.
It looked like it. You could look at her face after the match. She got crazy.
And I think that should be our question that we answer now. Is Charlotte Flair the problem? What do you think? Because I'm starting to feel like because Charlotte has a beef with Becky, Charlotte to have beef with other female competitors. Is Charlotte Flair the problem? Because it's starting to feel that way.
I don't know. I wouldn't say she's the problem. Is that I think she knows how important she is and she gets away with stuff. At least I think it's because she wouldn't have did that with Becky. I think she was trying Tiffany because she's still basically a rookie. I think she was trying to see what she could handle, testing her. I think this was a one time thing with Tiffany. That maybe they're respectful of each other. I think with Becky, they're both at the top, and when two people are at the top, it kind of get us a little hectic. So I think it's just you talk with someone, her and Becky as two people at the top. Tiffany's still a rookie, so she was just trying her, testing her out. So I think it was just those two things. Because outside of that, the beef has been minuscule, but she hasn't been there a lot with her injuries, unfortunately. So maybe that's why.
Well, maybe it has something to do with it. Okay. We'll call it that this time. But if she get into another match and it start looking personal, all right, man, we got to call it. She the problem.
She did have a little thing with Nia Jax too. That was a little crazy.
You know what I mean? That's why I said it's multiple females. It ain't just one or two.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We have to. I'm gonna check that out next time. We'll see where she goes from here. Uh, Tiffany, I don't know where she goes from here either. That's a chip. They might do a rematch. I can see them doing a rematch. Outside of that, I don't know who Tiffany gonna go after. Now, Jack still need a rematch, really. So you ain't get it.
Damn, you're right. Nia ain't got a rematch.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Now for the main event triple threat: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. A great multi-person match. Like I said, all the multi-person matches on WrestleMania was excellent. This was not the exception. This was excellent as well. But the match is not what people are talking about. They are talking about what people are pretty much saying we should have saw coming. Paul Heyman turns on CM Punk, then he turns on Roman Reigns, and now he sided with Seth Rollins. We probably should have saw it coming. It looked, I mean, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it wasn't good. It was good. But my thoughts is how did you feel about the Paul Heyman turn, double turn to align with Seth Rollins?
Mm. So the first thing I'm gonna tell you, B Haywood, that was the guest on the prediction shows. We had him on. He tagged me in a post on Facebook. He said, "What I tell you, I told you that Paul Heyman was going to side with Seth Rollins. We should have bet on it. We should have, because the man would have won some money from me. Because I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't see it coming. Even though I thought about it, but I was like, nah, it ain't gonna happen. I ain't know how it was gonna end, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that because Seth Rollins basically said, I don't need your favor.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, I thought they was canceling that out so it wouldn't become a storyline. And it ended up being the storyline. So I didn't see it coming. I didn't. The match was great. Like I said, I think this was the best part of the night. I think the match was great. I think all three of them performed excellent. You could see it during in the match if you watch it. They all after stunts, they checked on each other. You could see they actually cared about each other compared to the previous match where Charlotte was just hitting that woman, didn't even
Yeah.
think twice about it. You know what I'm saying? But now, I'm excited to see where this goes. I wonder if Paul and Seth, maybe link up with John. Because that's been going on Twitter a lot. I want to see where this goes because Seth Rollins don't need Paul Heyman.
Nah, he don't.
Paul Heyman don't need Seth Rollins. But you put them two together, and I think Paul Heyman is good as a heel. This whole babyface Paul Heyman thing is
Yeah.
cool, but you know, it didn't heal Seth Rollins put in work too. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Hey, it should be some excellent work, man. Excellent. I hate to say it, Jay. That title is gonna look real nice on Seth.
So okay, we got to talk about these world heavyweight titles. We'll wait till we get to the John Cena thing
Yeah.
because some stuff got to make some sense, and it ain't making sense right.
Yeah.
So yeah. But no, I think, like I said, I think the match is good. I think it was the best main event. I can say that.
Oh yeah, we gonna get that. That other main event was garbage, hot garbage. But yeah, Seth Rollins, I imagine he's gonna have the world heavyweight title by SummerSlam at this trajectory. He looks good. He looked good. So I guess we can go ahead and slide to the second night.
I too.
Night two of WrestleMania. This is the night again. This is where Q put belt to ass on me. I mean, it was rough for me, man. It was one of those moments where I just had to go into my room and cry. That's how bad he was. It was one of those butt whoopings. Y'all know when y'all was a kid and y'all parents gave y'all that good butt whooping. All you can do is go in your room and cry, and then go to sleep. It'd be the best sleep of your life. But hey, that's what happened.
It wasn't that
No,
bad. It
it was
wasn't.
bad. It was bad. But start out. Let's go ahead and start out with the match of the night because that was the match of the night. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Match of the night, maybe match of the weekend. The only contention is the stand and deliver triple threat and the main event triple threat of night one. Them triple threat matches, chef kiss all around. That ending was spectacular. Bianca hit Rhea with a KOD, and Io came out of nowhere with a moonsault. And not only did Bianca lose her streak, they can't even say she hasn't been pinned at WrestleMania because she was the one to get pinned. And not only did Q predict Io to win, he also predict Bianca to be the one to get pinned. So you was absolutely right. We gonna nip this streak in the bud. You ain't got it.
It's over. Call it home. It's over.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be the Undertaker, baby girl. We love you. We appreciate what you're doing, but that's that type of street stuff is only for one person and one person only, and he lost his.
Yeah. So it was a wrap.
It's done so I'm gonna take a little minute to gloat her because EO deserves so much credit for the amount of work she does. Hell, like we said, we're not reviewing Monday Night Raw, but the match she just had with not Valkyrie, uh, the NXT Women's Champion. I can't
Definitely Valkyrie. You're right.
Stephanie Valkyrie. Okay, yeah, I was thank you. That match was a good match. Both of them are some great workers. EO continues to put on good matches time and time and time again. I watched the video. This is where my love for her came from. I watched the video on Facebook of her and Penta wrestling. I don't know if it was Mexico or New Japan, wherever it was. She was putting belt to ass with Penta. She was hanging with Penta, and Penta's a beast.
Yeah.
So I've been in love with EO ever since I've seen that video, and especially because in this build up for this match, everybody talked about the two big stars, two mega stars, the two that's on the commercials. That Rhea was in Fortnite. Was it Fortnite or one in Modern Warfare? She was in some video game.
She was in
Call
Call
of
of
Duty.
Duty.
Thank you. Bianca's out here doing the Slim Jim commercials and all these other Make a Wish things. These two big stars, these two pillars in the women's division. It's been made about them, and EO was like the forgotten person.
Shit.
The person that was getting disrespected, the person who them two was arguing back and forth about a world title that neither one of them had. She the one with the belt. EO deserves so much credit, and I love the way that they built the story. The forgotten woman. Actually, never sleep on your opponent and focus on somebody else. Focus on the person. Focus on the goal at hand. The goal is the women's world title. Why are you looking at Bianca? Why are you
Yeah.
looking at Rhea? EO got
Yep, and that's kind of how they laid out the match. It was basically Bianca and Rhea focused on each other a little bit too much, and Io
mm-hmm.
just slid on in there and took the title. She didn't take the title; she just kept the title on her waist, where it belongs. Yeah.
She deserves it. She take it home. Shout out to EO.
Yep. Next up is Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City Street fight. And, Sin City Street fight. Both these guys was good. I mean, I wouldn't say I wasn't really locked into this match as per se as the other ones because I didn't care about it that much. The highlight of it to me is when Drew McIntyre took a picture and tweeted out "Boy, didn't work again." Last time he did, it didn't work out so well. This time it worked out well for him. So Drew McIntyre got him a dub. I'm sure he's looking to be a world heavyweight champion. Jey Uso, you got some people coming for you. Just saying.
Yeah, some people coming for you. I am glad the match happened so both of them could get on WrestleMania. I do believe that this, like you said, I mean this is probably one of the few conclusion situations that was on WrestleMania card. We don't have to take this no further. This don't have to go to Backlash. Cool. Damian Priest needs to go off and do something else. Drew McIntyre needs to go off and do something else. World title picture, whatever the case may be. Both of them need to go separate, and do their own things. But this match was good. To me, it was good.
Yeah. I just didn't care about it that much. That's really all.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
It did what needed to be done.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
It did what needed to be done.
You're right. It did what
That's what
needed to
I
be
would give it.
done.
It
Yeah,
did what needed to be done.
you're absolutely right. Next up, let's go to a match that was good, and that was a fatal four way for the Intercontinental title. Braun, Penta, Dom, and Finn, and Dominik Mysterio escaped with the Intercontinental title. And crazy, that man was getting booed out the building not too long ago, and he got so much pop and cheered so much after he won that title. It was crazy because it was somewhat similar to the EO Skies win, where Dom just came out of nowhere with that frog splash on Finn and he got the 1, 2, 3. He's a new Intercontinental champion. And man, he's only like 27. I think I might be a little bit older than him. He's got a big trajectory ahead of him.
Uh, so my question is because like you said, the way the crowd reacted, and then like I said, I watched the
Oh,
after the post game. I don't know what to call it because I don't know what to call it because it's wrestling. The post match situation, the post WrestleMania shows, he got a popped in too when they interviewed because they interviewed him in front of the crowd, not like a press conference. He was out there with the crowd,
yeah.
and he got a large pop, and he was still trying to do the heel tactics. He looked at Big E and was like, "Yeah, you ever held this Intercontinental Championship?" And Big E was like, "Yeah, I have." And he was like, "Well, I'm already the greatest, and I only I only had it for 30 minutes, and I'm already better than you." You know what I mean? Like, and he talked about carrying both legacies of the Guerreros and Mysterio on his back. Like, dude is still doing the heel tactics, but the crowd is cheering like crazy. So I
Yep.
don't know
The
if
shift is happening.
is Dom still a heel or is Dom the baby face now? I don't really know the situation. I know him and Finn about to get busy. That I know.
Yeah.
Him and Finn about to get busy, but I don't know. I don't know how to look at Dom. Match is great. Like you said, this match is great. This match is great. It did it.
This next match, man, I had so much hope, and it let me down. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
It let me down. Not only did AJ Styles lose to Logan Paul, just the match wasn't good. It was slow pace. You two guys is too talented to be wrestling this slow of a pace. The finish was awkward. One of Logan Paul's goonies had the brass knuckles. Karrion Cross popped up out of nowhere to stop him. AJ Styles went out, talked to Karrion Cross. Karrion gave him the brass knuckles, told him to use it. Instead of using it, AJ hit Karrion, got back in the ring, got hit with a pole paralyzer. One, two, three. I mean, I was just so disappointed. The match was not good. I was expecting a lot more. Like, even if they was gonna let Logan Paul win, I was expecting a good match, but I didn't even get that. So, you know,
Okay. Let me ask you. Was it that the is it that the match was bad, or was you expecting more? So now it's making you see it as bad. Because I don't think the match was bad. I just expected more. I
I expected more.
okay.
I thought this was gonna be in contention with match of the night with at the time Rey Mysterio, Chad Gable. I thought that match was gonna be considered match of the night. I also thought the women's triple threat match was gonna be considered could be considered match of the night. But this wasn't even. This was bottom tier. I thought it was gonna be in that conversation. It wasn't even the conversation. None of them. Ray Phoenix and El Gran Americano was better than this to me.
If you say so. Look, if you say so. Nah, you're right. If I quit being like if I separate my feelings towards and just look at the match for the match, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I don't know. It's just I don't
It
know.
just it felt lackluster to you too.
Very lackluster, like the main event, but we will get there. We will definitely get there. Any more thoughts on AJ Logan?
Nah, I mean the match was like you said, it wasn't what we was expecting. We was expecting a highlight moments because of the simple fact, even though AJ's talking about his retirement is coming soon, and we know he can still perform, and we know Logan can perform. As much hate as Logan get, we know Logan will get busy in this ring. So we expected more. You like you said, you expected to be a 5 star. We got a 2.5.
Yeah, yeah, 2.5. Very unfortunate. Next up, and this time we're gonna have to talk a little bit of Monday Night Raw here as well. But it was Liv Morgan and Raquel versus supposed to be Bailey and Lyra. Bailey got beat up before night one, forcing Lyra to find her partner, and she found her fellow countrywoman in Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch came, and her and Lyra defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to win the WWE Tag Team titles. Then when we get to Monday is 24 hours later, Liv and Raquel they got a rematch and they won the title right back. And Becky Lynch turned on Lyra on Monday. So your thoughts on the WrestleMania match and your thoughts on them only holding the title for 24 hours and Becky turning on Lyra just like that.
Now I'm kind of okay. Let me separate. Let me separate the two. The match was good. I thought that okay, let me not do this. I thought the match was good. They did what they needed to do on WrestleMania. You got the pop of the man. She came back. Oh yeah, the crowd loves me. Blah 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 blah. Cool. You go to the press conference with the daughter. She go full babyface mode because the daughter's there. Like I remember when Steph Curry did it with his daughter. Cool. Then to turn around on Monday night, just to have her turn heel, wouldn't it be better for her just to turn heel at WrestleMania?
I would have rather that than
Th- So
me and you, we've been very vocal on how they treat the women's tag team titles. They don't feel like they just want to put teams together. We're tired of them putting teams together. Get y'all some actual women's. There's women out there that dream of winning tag team titles too, not just men. I'm sorry. I would have preferred Liv and Raquel keep their tag team titles, keep that reign longer, keep them strong instead of just losing it for 24 hours. They could have had. I guess they didn't. I guess they wanted the Becky Lynch win pop, even though they got the other pop. But only thing I knew when Becky was coming out, I still thought Liv and Raquel was gonna win. I just knew Becky wasn't eating that pin. But I was like, damn, you don't want your Intercontinental Champion to eat the pin either. But she ended up eating the pin 24 hours later anyway. So
no. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to separate the two because, in fact, when I looked at the match yesterday, I felt good about it. But now, after watching Raw, I'm like, I just wasted our damn time, bro.
yeah,
And it would have made you still would have got a pop because Becky Lynch was there and she gonna turn heel, and you don't expect Becky Lynch to be a heel because she's coming back.
that's the time to do it. Right when they wasn't expecting it. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
still wasn't expecting it today, but it would
Why
have
do
been
it?
even crazier at WrestleMania.
Why do it 24 hours later? If you so, what happened in those 24 hours that made her be like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to work with you. I just worked with you yesterday, but today, after we do our press conference and everything seemed cool, I don't want to work with you today.
Silly. It's silly.
You don't. I don't know if they just planning that for the hey, it's the Raw after WrestleMania. We got to do some stuff. You got Rusev coming back. There was you did the stuff right there, and then you set up the Randy Orton situation. You did the stuff. You didn't know you didn't need this. If
Nah.
you was going to do this, do it at WrestleMania. Having Becky Lynch turn on Raw to me feel like you wasted both. Basically, you wasted both the matches.
Yeah,
From my perspective, you just wasted both matches.
I agree.
And if you did, because I didn't think they when I seen that they was going whoever won the match had to defend the titles on NXT the next night. As soon as Michael Cole said that, I said, "Oh, Becky Lynch ain't fighting 3 nights in a row."
Yeah.
Like, come on, Becky Lynch ain't fighting 3 nights in a row. She just got back.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So they getting ready to lose this match. How are they gonna lose this match? I'm thinking Bayley's gonna come out and cost them the match. That ain't what happened.
They lost it.
That would have made more sense than this.
I agree, and I will say I'm fully expecting it to be Becky to come out as the person that attacked Bailey.
Had to
I
be.
hope it's that. I hope
Yeah.
it. I hope it's that. That makes sense, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna let it play out, Triple H. I'm not a fan of how you treat the women's tag titles. I'm tired of you treating them like mid card titles when you have mid card titles. So just know
That
you.
you don't treat like nothing. That you treat like nothing. Because
Yeah.
why is she in a tag team match when she has a championship on her waist?
And why is Chelsea Green not even on? She couldn't even make an appearance on WrestleMania. An appearance? All that work she's been put in. Couldn't even make an appearance.
What are we doing? Chelsea's making that title feel like something. And you can't give her a WrestleMania pop. You couldn't give her a 10-minute match.
Yeah, Randy Orton. We about to talk about that now. He got him a little 5 minute match.
You couldn't find 10 minutes for her. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Well, speaking of Randy Orton, there was a lot of speculation on who it was going to be. Nobody on the prediction podcast got it right. It was something out of left field, and I heard another option was put out there. I'm gonna ask you your thoughts on that in a little bit, but it ended up being Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry. No, I know you don't watch NXT or you haven't watched NXT. He was on NXT pretty prominently. Obviously, Joe Hendry is the TNA Impact World Champion. Joe Henry, I've met him when he went to NXT. Personally, from my perspective, he's not my cup of tea. He's cool, not my cup of tea. I do recognize he is immensely popular. He has an over gimmick. That's neither here nor there. And he's the TNA Impact Champion. And that's a big deal to get your TNA Impact World Champion on the card is a big deal. Even if it's like a 5 minute little quick match. Obviously, they had to pick somebody that Randy Orton wasn't going to lose to because clearly he's got a world title match against John Cena coming soon. Don't mind it being Joe Hendry. Pretty cool. Wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big fan of him, but hey, get your little WrestleMania check. Shout out to the TNA. But there was word out there on the streets that another option was Jeff Hardy. So I want your thoughts on that option, and I want your thoughts on the Joe Hendry.
Ooh, Uh, I honestly like the option that they went with, and I don't want the Jeff Hardy option, and I'm gonna tell you why. I listened to Triple H in the post WrestleMania press conference. He made a solid point. You had this great build up between Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to put Randy. It wouldn't feel right putting Randy Orton in another serious match
Yeah,
versus somebody that could actually compete with him. And I don't think you bring Jeff Hardy back to have him basically squashed to Randy Orton. You don't do that. He was a world title in your company's history.
yeah,
World, he's a world champion in your company's history. So you don't have him do that. So I think Joe Hendry was the right person to bring out. Because even Rusev, it would have been a competitive match, and you don't want Rusev to come back looking weak.
yeah,
So you needed it to be somebody like that. You didn't need it to be like a complete squash, but you also needed a pop. Joe Hendry gave you that.
he gave you that pop. So yeah, Joe says that he appears got a like I say immensely over a gimmick. I'm not mad at it. And again, hey, get you a nice little WrestleMania check. That check probably hit more than the TNA check, saw.
And TNA needed that.
Hey, definitely did that.
That's free promotion
Yeah,
out of their pockets because they ain't have to pay him to go there. WWE pay him to go there.
yeah,
That's free promotion.
yeah.
So yeah,
So
no. Shout out to
again,
it was a win-win for everybody. Randy Orton got his match. Joe Hendry got a WrestleMania moment. TNA got free publicity, and WWE looking like, yo, we still work with people out here.
yeah.
It's that other company that got problems.
Hey, that's what they say. That's what they say. Next up is Randy Orton versus John Cena. We had taken us down memory lane, but with a twist. We got heel John Cena versus babyface Randy Orton at Backlash in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis. Hasn't been official, but
We
we
know
see
what's
where
coming.
it's going. We see where it's going. We not dumb. So, how you feeling, Randy Orton, John Cena? Does that give you the goosebumps, take you down memory lane like they do?
Yeah, because like you said, we've seen this match so many times before, but never like this. Never Randy Orton being the babyface. Nah, I think this is a dope. I think this was dope.
Yeah,
I think this is gonna be dope, and I'm excited because I thought we was gonna have to wait to SummerSlam.
oh
We ain't
man,
gotta wait to SummerSlam for this.
it's,
We getting this early. I thought Randy Orton was gonna be the one to, legend killer. I'm gonna put you out. I'll let your boy. See you later. Adios amigos. That ain't what happened. Hey, we gonna give it to you live and direct early in this retirement tour. Let's play the hit. Let's play the hits early. That's what
play
they
the hits
doing.
early,
Play the hits early.
and it looks like hopefully they play another hit at Money in the Bank. We will get there when we get there. But let's get to this main event, man. So John Cena comes out, no Tron, still got the same music. And then Cody Rhodes comes out, excellent ring attire, looking good. And they had a pretty good match. It was solid. A little slow, but it was a solid, decent match. A lot of false finishes. I was a little surprised that John Cena did the avalanche or the super AA off the top rope, and Cody Rhodes kicked out. Usually, John Cena likes to keep that move protected, or WWE in general likes to keep that move protected, but they decided against it this time around. Where this match has turned for not only me, but seemingly for a lot of people, is one when Travis Scott came out, two, The Rock was nowhere to be found. My biggest one of my issues with the finish is John Cena picks up Cody Rhodes and tells Travis Scott to hit him with the ref right there. Like, are you trying to get DQ'd? Obviously, that's not what happened. Cody Rhodes eventually gets his get back and gives Travis Scott a crossroads, and then John Cena tries to hit Cody with the title, doesn't. Cody thoughts about hitting John Cena with the title. He's too good of a guy to do it. John Cena's not a good guy. Hit him with a low blow, hit him with the title. One, two, three. Lackluster. Don't know. I was expecting more. I don't know. I don't know much to say. It was just such a lackluster finish to WrestleMania. But John Cena is a 17-time world champion. So congratulations to him. He stands above everybody. There you
The match. The match was the match was bad.
go.
Take it back. Sorry. Yeah, the match was bad. It felt quick, but John Cena don't wrestle that often. So you only gonna get him in spurts now. It's not the John Cena of it felt quick. It also felt like they was forcing a moment. And they got the Travis Scott moment, but did we really need the Travis Scott moment?
And he took so damn. I know the ramp is long, but he took so damn long to get down there.
You look, John Cena's looking around, smiling and stuff. Like he's so. I get Travis Scott. He's soaking in the moment, but you also gotta understand, like, nah, bro, you gotta get your little moment. You gotta hustle down that ramp because we gotta show that we trying to, you know, we trying to move along here. You gotta make it look somewhat realistic. I don't. It just don't feel like. I'm glad he took Crossroads though.
Yeah,
I'm glad he took the Crossroads. That did make me smile. Like, all right, he ain't just coming out here trying to, like don't touch me. Nah, he actually willing to put the work in and take the hit.
yeah,
Also, given the fact that most of the time when celebrities come in, they be baby faces. Not all the
yeah,
time, but majority of the time they be a baby face. Travis Scott's really leaning into his heel mode,
yeah.
and I like the connection. I just don't like the way it was executed with the
I
Travis
agree.
Scott and the John Cena situation. I
Yeah.
don't like the way it was executed, and I also feel like we have to get Cody Rhodes as a heel.
You think it's coming soon? This soon?
Yeah, I think it's coming because I honestly think it was supposed to happen at WrestleMania. Cody said that himself.
Yep. But
Yeah,
they went with John Cena instead.
yeah. It's it's Cody's becoming a heel. Why I don't know.
Yeah. It just did it. And The Rock now showing up feels like, damn, it just didn't feel right.
Mm.
Shout out to Cody. I mean, shout out to John Cena for getting 17. But hey, y'all let us down, especially considering what we got last WrestleMania. That was an all timer.
Yeah, it was, and this ain't it. But I listened to John Cena on Pat McAfee show today, and he made an interesting point about how, I put in all this work over these years, and this relationship is toxic. I give and I give to these fans, and these fans don't give to me at all. Listen to John Cena on Pat McAfee made me feel the heel turn more. But I
Yeah.
also like John Cena because of the fact they asked him some questions, and he was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna talk about it here. I'm gonna talk about it on these people tune in to Raw and SmackDown and hear these stories. I'm gonna save that type of questions for then." And then they asked him about Dominik Mysterio and Brian Baker. He was like, "Oh, yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with me, so I talk about them all day. Yeah, yeah, them dudes is great, and they put it amazing. Like I love, I love what he did and how he handled that Pat McAfee
Oh yeah.
situation, especially compared to Paul Heyman. But
Oh, oh, him. He was trying to get banned from ESPN.
Paul Heyman went over and healed it up like a mother. You feel me?
Yeah.
He went over and healed it up like a mug.
They
Even said,
definitely got to bring him
said
back.
said some comments about a certain, ESPN personality that
Yes.
I don't know if
That,
ESPN wanted to
and
be
what's
talking
crazy
about.
is that stuff was fresh. It wasn't even 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yo, he was on Twitter and seen it before he got on stage, my boy.
Yeah,
And he went for it. Nah.
fresh. I'm sure that's something you're gonna talk about on another pod though. But yeah,
Yeah. We definitely getting that off tomorrow on the Mixed Mass Pod.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, we definitely getting that off.
But yeah, but that was pretty much WrestleMania. I say mid. I'm saying mid now because last year was so great from my perspective. This one did not stack up to last year's WrestleMania 40. It wasn't okay. It was okay. I don't think there's any of these matches that I will go back on and maybe watch again. They got some memorable moments. Obviously, the Seth Rollins one is the biggest memorable moment. But before we officially got out here, Monday Night Raw did just conclude. I don't know if you had it on the TV. Didn't have it. So you brought up the man Braun Breaker. Pretty much gonna say Seth Rollins came out with Paul Heyman. You know, I didn't really hear what they said because I'm obviously podcasting. You know, he apparently looked like they was healing it up. CM Punk comes out. They beat Seth Rollins beats up CM Punk. Roman Reigns comes out. He gets the jump on Seth Rollins. And right before it looks like they get ready to go off the air, Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere and spears Roman Reigns. He spears CM Punk. And, you know, they did a little bit more beating up of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But it pretty much looks like it's Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. Looks like that's the alignment right now.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna I need to listen to exactly what was said.
Yeah, I'm
But
about to go watch it.
visual wise, it looked great. And I'm interested.
Yeah, they got me excited a little bit. I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here though. John Cena's a raw talent most of his career.
Yep.
He got a world title. He got the undisputed. Jay's title was the raw title.
Yep. Yep.
Who's going to SmackDown?
It should be just it's supposed to be John Cena, but another issue I got Triple H. Can you make this brand split a little bit harder? It's too soft. It's too soft.
You got both the world champions on Raw and the
The brand is no brand, bro. It's like the damn transfer portal over there in WWE right now. People going back and forth like it's nothing. Can you come on? Only thing that's hard is the tag teams. That's the only thing that's really separate.
That's it.
Everything else, world title on this show, other title they on opposite show. Like, can we keep it a little? Can we make us a definite brand split? And then you gonna make then you want me to watch the draft show when y'all do it, like it's supposed to be something. We're doing damn well. That person he gonna be on SmackDown the next day, even though he just got drafted to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
That's my question. Is, but who's going to SmackDown? Because I don't know which one's going to SmackDown. Because
It's
I don't feel like John Cena's going to SmackDown, but
in terms of the title he's got,
he's supposed to be on SmackDown.
he's supposed to be on SmackDown. And Randy Orton is on SmackDown, so
That's what I'm saying. But who's going to SmackDown?
it's just
I guess we shall see.
we shall see. But that'll do it from another episode of From Our Perspective. We got you guys a WrestleMania review. Hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania. I did somewhat, but please like, please subscribe if you enjoy the show. Leave a comment. We got a lot of things going on over at the Mixed Vibe Media Group. Obviously, we got merch. Please buy some from our perspective shirt. You don't need to get it from our perspective shirt. We got all types of shirts. Got mixed vibe shirts, just everything you need. Hats, blankets. I know your girl.
It's,
Y'all got that. I know y'all got that AC on blast because it's hot outside now. I know your girl need an extra blanket. You know she do. So might as well get your extra blanket. I'm your boy Deion. I'll holler at you next time. Take us home, Q.
you are another bad support, Mr. Bell, aka say your name on the spot. Might not put you tomorrow. We're gonna catch y'all later.